So here's a dirty secret. Most 7-figure coaches aren't working harder than you. They just stopped doing 80% of what you're still doing. So here's what they kept and what they cut out and how you can copy it.
Most coaches have absolutely no clue how to scale to 7 figures, and they're using strategies that is just not the right strategy at the level they're currently at. So today we're walking through the roadmap that has helped hundreds of coaches scale with less effort.
Really good episode. Really excited to have this conversation.
So right now, for me, we are going to Thailand in a week. Less than a week. We'll be in Thailand in 1 week.
Right now for you, we are going to Thailand
and
in a
that's
week.
just so stressful because we're going to be gone for a while, which means that we're going to prepare the next couple of podcast episodes, but we also need to prepare all our content because I really, really, really want to relax on these holidays. I think it's the first time in many years that we get to go travel this far with all of our kids.
Yeah.
Following with us.
It's not easy with adult kids having jobs on their own and figuring out the scheduling stuff and get it to work. So really, really excited about that. I've been to Thailand 10 times. It's going to be amazing to just like show the great stuff. We are going to speak about 7 figures and how to create a 7-figure coaching business. And we are going to do it step by step. I think it's really, really important. So we have broken it down into a couple of phases that are really, really important. And we're going to make sure that you're going to leave this episode with a very concrete to-do list.
So the biggest issue, scaling to 7 figures, our best year so far, I think we made 2.4 million in our best year. And I think we did that really fast. And I think the biggest problem for us getting there is like, I actually want to admit, I think we did so many wrongs and we worked really hard to get there.
It was a big learning curve, and it might be that you can take this away for yourself because we worked with everything that we got and we just plowed through everything.
Yeah.
It took us to one point where we had to work harder and harder to keep the uncovered stuff handled and taken care of. The good part about this is if we take away our salaries as owners, we made a close to 80% profit of those 2.4 million euros, which is amazing. But I wouldn't repeat that for double the money.
No.
Because it took away all the other stuff that we love.
Yeah.
Because we want to build a lifestyle based on the contribution that we create and the business that we have.
Yeah. What we're doing right now, we chose after doing that year, we chose let's take one step back and do it right and get up there, but get up there in another way. Which is why we really want to invite you who are listening to this right now to do it the right way, because we know what it cost you not to do it the right way. So we really want to give it to you how to make above 1 million a year, but how to build that up in a way it's going to be sustainable for you and feel good for you as well. The biggest thing for me was that I was so committed to hitting the goal that I was willing to do whatever. And it was just like crushing harder, which works. I mean, you can hustle your way for a long time, but you can't do it all of the time every year.
You can get to 1 million based on just hard work, but you can't get to 3.
No, the biggest thing for me, what I realized is that when we started making money, we got very fearful. I got very fearful about losing my momentum or losing what I had and not stepping wrong. I got so afraid of not doing anything wrong on that path. I thought that was really, really scary on this trajectory. And what I see is we have a lot of coaches that we meet that are stuck at somewhere between 10 and 30. And at this stage, they're trying to scale their business but keep doing the same things.
Yeah. It kills you if you're trying to just do more of what you're already doing. And that's why we're going to introduce a couple of different phases that you need to focus on.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've heard that is so normal is that they are kind of trying to skip steps.
We actually had someone saying that once.
So we have a roadmap that kind of shows the journey from zero, basically, but more importantly, from 10K to a 1 million euro a year.
Yeah.
And the roadmap displays like a mountain climb. So a couple of years ago, we were standing at a Christmas party, and I remember this so bluntly. We had a new person in our community, a new coach, competent coach, very skillful, very cocky, which is fine if there is a mix of being humble with it as well. what he said was that I don't care about all of these steps. And from that illustration of our mountain where you kind of had to go from 10K to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 and then 84, he wanted to sidetrack the mountain and climb up the side of the mountain and go straight for the million. I told him that you're never going to be able to do that. And we had a conversation for 10 minutes. I had a call with him a week later or maybe a few days later. I recommended him to not do our journey. I took him out.
Yeah.
I just realized that it's going to be so much worse for this person.
So why is that though?
Because what you're doing at the 84,000 euros a month level is not the same thing as you're doing when you're trying to make your first 10K.
Yeah.
And that's why, or when you're getting to 10K consistently.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to understand the different phases. What is it your focus in the beginning? Then what is your focus once the foundation is solid?
Yeah.
And then when you have a foundation that is solid, that you can multiply the previous results, what is the third step?
No, but I think there's a lot of people listening to this episode right now and thinking like, yeah. I want the fast way. I don't want the slow way because it sounds a little bit boring. There's a slow way and a fast way. It kind of sounds like for that to some people, there's a slow way and a fast way. But what is it really? Because when you say that it's different what to do at different stages, it's like you don't know what to do at that stage because you haven't earned the first one. A classic example of what happens is when people are trying to implement scaling strategies before they're ready for it.
Is one of those things.
Yeah, but also coming in and I literally meet people who are yet to get consistent client, meaning they probably have 1 or 2 clients in their business, but they build up a big funnel. So they've already got the full system. They got everything planned out how to do it. But the only thing is they can't close on sales calls.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to close a sales call.
They don't have the sales skills.
They don't have the sales skills. So their conversion rate on sales calls is less than 10%.
Yeah.
But they're running expensive ad funnels into a webinar. They're having hundreds of leads on a webinar only to figure out that they don't know how to convert people on a webinar yet because they don't have the skills to do that. And they don't have the skills to close people on a sales call, which means that they spend top of funnel 2,000 euros to fill up webinars to realize they probably get in 1 or 2 clients. And if they're lucky, they go break even. They're burning so much money, so many leads, because they don't have the foundations in place. It does not matter how many funnels, how many leads, follows you got, if you don't know how to convert them at each, like first you need to understand how to convert individually, and then you need to convert in a group setting. You can't skip that. It's a skill set to learn.
Yeah.
I see a lot that, it's just the system. I just need to have the right funnel. No.
Yeah, the right people that can set it up for me, and I'm prepared to invest X, Y, or Z amount of money in order to set that
And
up.
the problem is, it's psychology. It's not a funnel thing. It's a psychology thing, and you don't know the psychology, and you haven't gotten the experience to do that. You can't skip the steps. You don't know these things until you had 50 clients, 100 clients.
And here's the good news. If you believe that this sounds like the long road, it isn't long.
No.
It absolutely doesn't have to be a long journey. It's just the right journey.
What looks like a faster journey breaks before you get started, and you'll get stuck and not get anywhere, and you can be stuck there for years.
And that is a long journey.
That's a long journey because you get stuck there and you don't get anything. And rather than getting stuck at nothing, it's better to do 10K month, 15K month, 20K month, 30K month, and get there because you shift that little shift at each level.
Absolutely. And if you understand that building your coaching business is a non-negotiable for you, then whatever journey you have in front of yourself is the journey you have in front of yourself, which means that is the journey you have to take in order to be successful. It isn't by chance. And if you want to add perspective to it, if you give yourself 3 years, easy, no matter if you're on 0 right now, you're going to be able to have a €1 million business every year with a really good profit line.
Yes.
So that you can support your lifestyle and you can build whatever you would like. And you can do it way faster. I think the fastest client did that journey in 13 months, €1 million from 0. And if you're not starting from 0, like a lot already going for you.
But I also want to say again, I think that's a little too fast because I think she went back after that because she kind of did the mistake again. So I think most people starting from 0, you'll be really happy doing 40K month.
Absolutely.
in the first year. I think
And that is very reasonable.
it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's more healthy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a healthier journey, and it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's still big, because I don't want to stand for that. Hey, you can get $1 million a year within the next half year. I mean, yeah, if you start from scratch, shouldn't be a goal. I don't think this is a healthy goal. I don't think it's a sustainable goal, because you can't do any mistakes on the way. And I never met anyone who doesn't make mistakes.
No. The reason why we did it faster when we started is only because we've done this for a long time before we started the coaching business. We need to give ourselves the path that we're on. Like, we need to give ourselves the honesty of accepting that my path is my path, and I need to learn whatever I need to learn.
Yeah. Solve the things that is broken at the level you're at first. That problem will just be bigger problem in your business. Yeah. It will keep you stuck until you solve that problem. It's not about finding a new way. It's about fixing what's broken at your stage.
Yeah.
That's a big shift. Yeah, and I think the traps we got into when we were growing a little too fast is that we were doing 150,000, 200,000 a month, but with no systems.
Yeah.
That is a little too late to have systems taking over. So I would say way before, you need to have the systems way before you get to that. But you don't want to go the other way and have the systems before you start. That's too early, because you're going to get the wrong systems.
Yeah, and you're going to build something you believe you need, and then you're going to realize you don't need it.
Yeah, and you just wasted your time on the wrong things.
It's like building your program before you have any clients. It's also the worst thing that you can do, because you're going to spend how many time, weeks, months, whatever, and then realize that you need to rebuild it when you have clients going through it.
Another thing you need to have, if you want to scale, you need to have a solid offer.
Yeah.
You can't scale if your offer isn't solid.
And how do we create a solid offer? We tailor fit it to a very specific individual, which is your avatar, which means you need to make a decision. Who is it that I'm helping, and what do I help them with?
And go back and watch another episode where we actually help you to build up your offer.
Yeah.
Because you need to have a solid offer. A bad offer, you can't scale that. You can't grow with that.
It doesn't matter how many people you speak to and how great you are. When I grew up, I remember when I was a teenager and I had my first kind of sales job thing.
Yeah.
And there were people bragging that they could sell broken things to people because that's how good of a salespeople person
Why would you sell something broken?
It wasn't that they sold broken things. It was just the confidence of, like, that's how good of a salesperson I am. And even if you're that confident, if you're trying to sell something to someone that they don't want, you are not going to sell to them.
No.
So
you're definitely not.
So you need to create an offer that is compelling, something that is compelling them, dragging them, having them feel like I'm drawn to this. This is something that is of high importance to me. Yeah.
And then there's one thing I think a lot of people are not thinking about, because most people are thinking top of funnel, get more clients, and that's churn. The easiest, fastest way to scale your business is having such a good program that people want to stay with you for years and buy more and more.
Yeah, and hang out with you because they realize they aren't done.
It's easier and faster if people want to stay with you while you get new clients, then you get them in up top of funnel and then you make churn on them.
And it takes away so much. So let's say that you have a coaching program 3 months.
Yeah.
A person that stays for another 3 months or another 3 months or another 3 months, they're already into the system. They know how to navigate. They know how to behave. They know how to use it, which means that all of your work, all of the stuff that needs your attention is literally taken away. Let's build something the right way with a solid foundation. Yeah.
Let's jump into the stages.
Yep.
What we're going to do here is literally put it into bigger stages. And I'm going to put in a link below to our completely €1 million roadmap.
Yep.
All the stages and all the things you need to do at different stages.
So what it is, it's 72 different projects that you need to master on the road
to doing €1 million a year.
€1 million a year.
Yes. So we'll put that down below, but let's just go into them in a bigger chunks, bigger stages. The first stage.
Consistent income. The first phase is making sure that you get consistent income, which means that you need to, first of all, focus on sales. You need to focus on building a highway or a road for people where you coach them. Understand what are people going through on the path from starting out with me to getting the outcome. And you need to have confidence in your offer.
Yeah.
So we've already talked about offer, but you need to have confidence in it so that you know that this is the thing that people need if they want to do this specific journey.
So I would say this is actually a very small step in revenue because it's going from 0 to consistent 10K years a month. So it's not a big step in how much you're doing, but I would say it's one of the biggest steps for what you're doing compared to your mindset and all of that. There's a lot of mindset work in this stage because it's going from not having a business whatsoever to having a consistent business you can live off during 10K month consistently. So yeah, it's absolutely testing your offer, getting clients in, having a system to make sure you get leads. So organic marketing, organic content, know how you get people on sales calls and how you learn how the basic selling, how to close people on a one-on-one setting on a sales call. Yeah. You need to get up to about 40% conversion rate at this stage. It is building confidence in yourself as a business owner and get used to get past the imposter, being seen on social media, and get past your fear of selling. So there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of friction in this first phase.
A lot of personal development. It's a lot of identity stuff, a lot of becoming the business owner and running it as a business owner. Yeah. And so what is it that we measure in this? Like, what's the key metric?
Yeah, the key metric at this stage is contracted sales.
Yeah, so contracted sales, meaning that you count the contracts closed. It doesn't really matter in this early stage how much money is getting into your bank account if you keep closing contracts. With that said, though, of course they need to get into a serious contract. You cannot sell them like, you get in for free, and then when you got in the results 6 months, 12 months into the future, then you maybe pay me something. No. It needs to be, so we usually teach that there are 2 ways to put up payments in order to take care risk and reward. But to handle the risk part of sales close is either a pay in full and one payment plan. And that payment plan is something pre-designed by you as a business owner and should consist for X amount of months and be a reasonable investment for the person that joins the program. No free stuff, no like try it out, get in. That comes way further down the road.
At this stage, you're also really learning who you are in your content. You're doing your first content. You're learning the basics of content marketing and all of that. That's the startup phase.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go any further into the phase 1 because phase 2 is more interesting. It's when we grow from 10K per month. So let's say that first phase is to get to 10K per month, and then phase 2 is to get from 10 to 30.
Yeah, let's call it stability phase.
Yeah, the stability phase. And I love that we call it the stability phase because it means building a solid system that is stable to be able to go beyond 30. Yeah. Because if you build stability before 30, you're going to be able to go from 30 to 50 to 60 to 80.
Yeah. So at this stage, what are we going to focus on?
So when we're shifting into this phase, it's more important to look at cash collected. So instead of contracted sales, we're looking at, okay, so how much money is coming into the bank every month?
Yeah.
When we're doing this, we are going to see that we are stacking the payment plans, the future payments, installments that are being paid into the future. We're going to be able to see that and track that. But it's more important to see because we want to build predictability here.
Yeah, I love that.
We want to understand what is next month going to look like. Because when you know what next month is going to look like, you can make smarter decision now. Yeah.
So you know your plan will work. You have a system you work with. You have a strategy you work with. You know that if I just do A, B, and C, then I will predictably have this result coming up in the next month. That I love that. It's going from the chaos you have in the beginning to really getting control of your business. And that also means that your offer is going to get better because now you got clients enough to make your offer better. It's not a startup offer anymore. You get a real great offer. What you also have is you've proven your program. So you're probably even looking into really, if you haven't done already, you need to move from one-to-one to group coaching, evergreen coaching, because you need to start looking into how can I handle what's coming my way? And you work a lot of focus on your lead gen systems right now. So you always have a solid lead flow. So it's not like good and bad, but it's a systematically working lead flow at this stage. So it's a lot of systems. I'm not saying a lot of tech systems, but it's a lot of understanding how humans move on what to do. And you start adding some tech funnels to it.
Understand your client journey.
Yes.
So that you understand what do you need to say to them when in order to make the journey as easy as possible for them. And that is starting to document what is working within my delivery. What should they focus on starting out?
I think this is a place where a lot of coaches are really stuck, because it's also the place where we need to start really fixing your lead gen problem. It's really about fixing your conversion system.
Yeah.
What keep you stuck in this phase for a longer time is that you're not fixing those systems.
And those small things that are needed, because it's not humongous. It isn't big things. It's core things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so what can I do with my offer to make it even hotter?
Yeah.
What can I add to the process to make it even easier? What can I subtract from the process to make it even easier?
Yeah.
The key word with stability is simplifying.
Yeah.
Because what we're going to go into in phase 3 is talking about scaling. How do I do what I do faster with a bigger outcome? And you can't scale without simplicity. So it's building simplicity, absolute clarity about everything that it is that you're doing on a very, very core foundational level.
Yeah.
Because when you have that locked down and you can take your 10K into 30K per month, this concludes maybe your first 9 to 10 months in your business. If you're already on 10K, well, then we're looking maybe between 4 and 8 months, depending on where you're at, to get to 30. But simplicity is the key.
Yeah, one funnel.
One funnel.
So you have a main focus on one thing you market, one funnel, one avatar. Everything is one, like the power of one, like you really know that works.
One offer, one person that you sell to. You have one funnel, you have one way of converting.
Yeah.
You don't have different ways. Say you could do with my affiliate partner and you can jump on a call with them, or you could jump on a call with me. You have one way of converting, and then you give it a full year of all those 5 ones.
Yeah.
Because when we have stability, simplicity, we can go into scaling. And here's phase number 3, where you go from 30K to 80K.
Yeah.
How do you start scaling? How do you start approaching the challenge with, okay, now I'm going to scale?
Before we can scale anything, we need to know what is it we're doing. We lock down, what's my system? What is it I'm doing? Simplify it, just as you said. Now we need to have systems. We look at how can we automate ourselves out of this in the way that either we have some systems taking over some of the parts, because now we know that we tested the different things we do so many times, we know it works. So where can we have a system, another system doing it instead of you as a human being? Or how can we outsource it to someone else to take some of these tasks so we keep doing them because they work, but we do them more? Another very important part at this point is that we are looking into what's the next level. You started saying before that we look into our client journey. What is the next step in your client journey? Because now you're getting clients that has gone through your program. What's the next step for them inside? Right? What is recurring sales opportunities and upselling opportunities?
How can you keep them for longer?
How can you keep your clients for longer? That's what we really want to start focusing on at this stage.
And that goes very much hand in hand with the focus that we need to have in phase 3, because in phase 1, it's contracted sales.
Yeah.
In phase 2, it's cash collected, getting money into the account. In phase 3, it's profit.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to look for, okay, so how much money does my engine, my business generate?
Yeah.
So when we're at this level, focusing on profit, one of the easiest way to create profit is have your clients stay for longer.
Yeah.
Retain them, have them do more stuff.
Retention, an absolutely important thing. And since you got a system that works now, you can start adding ad strategies on top of that. Again, because it's more volume, but doing the same things with more volume because it works now. Yeah. You start outsourcing yourself because you know how to do them, and you get systems to take over. And AI, that's one opportunity we have today. Systems and AI can take over a lot of your tasks today.
Absolutely.
But we don't want to change what's working into something that is not working.
And we don't want to outsource ourselves and believe that AI is going to fix it at any level.
You know what's the biggest thing here? The biggest thing that happened for me at a lot, and I see it for all of our clients in these stages, is letting go of control.
Yeah.
Because since you start hiring, you need to have SOPs, you need to have system structures, you need to work with your team. You're not alone in your business anymore. And I know a lot of people don't want to hire people. We're not talking about hiring people. We're talking about outsourcing tasks to freelancers that you should not be doing. We're buying back your time because you as the owner, you should not be spending time in your admin. taking what works and we want to amplify it. Outsource, system, AI, keeping your clients, looking at profit, adding more volume to it without it breaking. So it's small chest in every way that we get more in. Is there anything we want to add to this stage?
We could add a lot, of course, but something that is connected to systems. And when we're talking about outsourcing, admin stuff, like how we do things, I think one of the core systems that needs to be implemented here is SOPs. There is a pre-designed way. This is how we handle this specific thing when it happens. So it could be like a standard operation procedure.
Yeah.
When a client has been with us for X amount of months, we do this.
Yeah.
And when this happens for our clients, we behave this way. When a client is on red and need extra support, this is how we treat it. Yeah. Because if we don't have standard operation procedures, a way of handling different situations, then we're going to just do stuff when things happen. And we can never measure if we're doing it efficiently. We need to behave consistently.
Yeah, and there's a lot of focus on your client delivery at this stage because you need to have a scalable delivery model. Otherwise, you're going to break at this stage. You're not going to get through it.
I don't care how expensive your program is. If you believe that one-on-one must be included, then just what if it's not true?
Yeah, a great question to ask yourself. If I got 1,000 clients needing to go through my program in the next month, would they be able to?
If the answer is no, then what's missing in order for them to be able to?
Yeah.
And please don't get stuck with your own insecurity of, I need to be there to make sure to control their journey. Like, no.
Control is
see them as capable grown-up individuals, adults that can take care of themselves and like actually consume the journey. So what is needed on a structure level for them to be able to follow along?
Yeah, you need to make sure that your clients will win without you being holding their hands every single time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Super good.
So we add to this episode down below our complete 72-step roadmap to go from 0 to 1 million a year.
1 million euros a year in your business.
That's your roadmap. I'm also going to add another one, the millionaire multiplier method, because this is also going to show you how you quickly, I believe it's quite quick to go from 0 to 1 million a year within 3 years, how you do that journey in order to, because some of you might be looking at, but I'm selling something for 1,000 euros here. I need to sell so many courses to be able to do this.
To make 1 million euros.
To make 1 million a year.
And the millionaire multiplier method is going to show you how to grow from, because your business might look that way now, but it's not going to look that way when you move forward and when you grow. Yeah. I love that. It's a really valuable training, something that a lot of people are going to be able to leverage and use like right away. So yeah, to just wrap it up with a cherry on top, getting to a 7-figure business isn't a jump. It's a conscious decision made out of a series of clean, intentional steps, one step at a time. So if you have liked this episode, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And if you know someone that might benefit from it, please send it to them as well and say, hey, this is a journey you're on. Watch this. And don't forget to download the Millionaire Multiplier Method and the 7-figure pathway below. And we'll see you.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.